afternoon, YouTube. What I'm going to do today is, I'm not going to say I had any requests for it, but people were asking me about some of the other stuff that I sell on my website, and so I thought that I would just go ahead and throw this in there. This is an eggshell powder protection. I rinse them. As you can see, I have quite a bit here to do. I won't do them all because I will bore you to death on crushing them all, but I wanted you to see I normally have 2 stacks of them. This is the way I do it. I know there's lots and lots of other ways, but this is the way I do it. This is how it works for me. This is my prayer room. As you can see in the background, you can't see all the way around, but it's pretty much like this all the way around. Before I bring anything in here, any of my tools that I work with on my prayers, I have cleansed them. I have put my energy into them as far as making sure there's nothing negative on them whatsoever. And also, first of all, I want to say thank you to my closest friends because a lot of them save me their eggshells. I can't possibly eat this many eggs. It's just my husband and I, so I do have some close friends that will save me theirs, and I thank them for that. So I get them all cleansed and everything. I bring them in here. This is what I crush them into a powder with, and as you can see, they're cleaned. I get all the membranes out of them. I will rinse them out, get the membranes out, and I dry them at least for a week. You don't have to dry them for a week. You can dry them in a few days. But since I normally have 2 batches going, that way as I get them in, I add to the secondary batch, and I always have 1 batch that I rotate so that I can work with them. So when I need to add them, you know, I have them. I can still have some to crush, and I can have some just as backup if I need to make some more. That way, if I want to crush them like really, really fine or not so fine. So, because in my prayer room, everything in here, like I say before, has been cleansed. So I don't bring anything in here that I have not cleansed. That way, when I get ready to use the item, I don't have to worry about cleansing that particular item. If I have jars or whatever, I cleanse them before I bring them in this room. The eggshells can be used for so many different prayers. These are a few that I'm going to give you some examples of that I use them for. I sprinkle some around the house for protection. And while I'm talking to you, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put it in here. And I will do this first, so that way, as I'm talking, I won't do them all. Because like I say, I will just totally bore you to death. But I will show you the process of them. Let me get some more of these, and I will do this, and I will wash them and break them up. But the eggshells, like I say, can be used for so many different prayers. These are a few that I use. Sprinkle some around the house for protection. Putting some in a prayer bag for protection. Now, when I put them in the prayer bag, I can also put them along with other items that's geared to your personal needs. The eggshells, I have them on my website. It's $20 for an ounce. Believe it or not, that's a lot of eggs when you think about it, because they're crushed so fine. I also use them for fertility prayers, to help with blessings, to get pregnant. Some people have difficulty getting pregnant and they want a child, so they will come to me and ask me to do a prayer. Or if you're already pregnant I'm doing this easy because I don't want to knock off my Archangel Michael that's right on the end right there. If you're already pregnant, then this will also help to protect the baby while it's forming and growing. I've used it in protection prayers for when your child is away from you. You can use a candle, use a picture, and I will show you in just a little bit on the candles whether you're using a 7-day candle or you're using a taper candle. But you see how it's coming out. And so I will show you in a little bit on that. Like I say, you can put them in your bags. You can sprinkle them around. You can add other protection herbs, salts. Sprinkle it around your house, around the windowsills, doorways, under the beds. That's especially good for children that come up and say that they feel like there's something under the bed. You can do this. You sprinkle it in the closets, wherever you feel that you need to. I always tell clients and friends that they say that their child is saying that they're seeing stuff in the closets and such, to let them sprinkle it, to have them say a prayer, get them involved in it so they can feel like they're the ones that's in charge. You can even use this to save a marriage, for protection of the marriage. I've done that before. Everything seems to still be doing okay with them. It's been a couple of years, but and I do not follow. You'll hear some people say they'll do it this way, they'll do it this way. I don't follow that. I just kind of go every which way because I figure my way is my way, and if I feel that's how I need to do it, then that's just kind of how I do it. It's all about the energy and intent. My intent is good. My energy is good when I do this. If I'm in a bad mood, I will not do this. Because when I get ready to actually use it or to sell it, and they want me to put the intent into it at that time for that specific working, that specific spiritual working or prayer, that's when I put it in. Or they may say they want to put it in themselves. As you can see, it's getting even more fine. Okay? And also too, it's going to, I have some here. This is how it's going to look. That's how powdery it is. That's a lot of eggshells. Okay, now going back to the candles, I'm gonna put this plate right here. And like if you're gonna do a prayer for your child, your loved one, your husband, you know, your wife, whoever, and they're gonna be away from you, and you want to sprinkle some eggshells, if you want to add sage, if you want to add salt, if you want to add herbs, lavender, whatever you want to add, whatever you want to add. You're going to sprinkle a little bit here. If you're going to use, if you have a tapered candle, a white taper candle, and white you can use for any color. This I'm using for protection, okay? You would have a picture of them that you will be placing down in just a little bit, okay? But for now, you're going to want to anoint the candle with some oil. In this particular case, if I were doing one, and I make all my own oils that you can see on my website, which is Spiritual Healer 1. I'll put the link down below so you can go to my website and see all the oils and powders and everything I have. This is the Blessed Cinnamon Oil. I like this because it's Archangel Michael's oil that he likes. So I would use this. So what I would do is I would put some oil in my hand. I don't need to do it right now because I'm not doing any kind of a prayer for anybody at the moment. I just wanted to show you because, like I say, somebody had asked me, what does that mean to anoint or to dress a candle? So I thought I would blend it in with the egg protection powder to show you. So you would put the oil in your hand and you would rub it on. I want the blessings to come to me, or if I were working for a client, so I would put it on toward me like this. And then I would sprinkle the eggshell powder with any other thing that I wanted to add to it into the plate. And I would just roll. Let me move my hand. I stick my hand in the way and you can't see. So I would do this and I would roll it. And I would roll it toward me. Now this is one thing I do. I don't do the motion of the circle back and forth when I'm crushing stuff like that. But with a candle, if I do want the blessings to come to me, I will roll it toward me. Okay? I would roll it. And then I would get it all done. I would get a secondary plate because this would be all kind of yucky. Or you could move it over, whatever you want to do. You would place the picture down and you would put the candle on top. Now, these you have to be very careful that you don't catch anything on fire because of that picture, okay? Now, I've seen them do that this way. I've also, if the paper is small enough, I can just set the paper over to this. I'll do like this so you can see. I can put the paper over to the side. And then I can drop a few wax, a little bit of wax on here, and that way it will stick. Okay, and then you light it. You would light it. You would say, you know, your prayer, put your energy, put your intent into it. That's what anointing means when you're anointing the candle. For my friends that was curious. Also, too, if you have, now this candle I've been using because I normally will burn one here in the prayer room. But it would be, you know, like a 7-day candle. Of course, it's going to be up here. And you want to punch holes in it. Some people do 3, 6, 9. Some people do 7. Some people will just make a big area in here. Take some out so it doesn't suffocate the wick. And then you would also put your picture down, say your prayer, and do the same thing. But you, instead of putting the herbs on the outside of like the taper candle, you would sprinkle a little bit inside. A little bit goes a long, long way. So you don't want to suffocate your wick. Okay? You can even put a few drops of the oil that you choose. You can even put some drops in here. And then a little bit of the herbs and the eggshell. Okay? Now, since I sell the eggshells on my website, if you want to, and if you have a particular situation, you can go on my website and you can email me, and you can put a comment on the email and say, you know, something like, I want to purchase the eggshells, but I also am in this situation and I need for protection for this situation. And I will add those other herbs into it for no extra cost, because it's just the one cost per 1 ounce bag. So I would do that. You just let me know what your situation is, okay? And that would be all. And like I say, I'll have my website down below in the drop down bar. And then that way you can just click on it and go to my website. But for the people now that didn't know before what anointing a candle and dressing a candle is, now they know. And thank you for watching my video. Please hit like if you like it. Please hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified of any future videos that I make, just hit the little bell and you'll be notified of any future videos. Thank you again.